What you are about to see is one session of a series of remote viewing sessions that were conducted in November 2024, where the focuses are on the leadership of Iran, both in December 2024 and in July 2025. Now, we are releasing these sessions in February 2025 because they appear to directly address what we have seen in the world recently, as well as giving us a window into near-term future thinking of the Iranian leadership. Now, looking at the way people think in the near future gives us an idea of how world events will transpire in that same near future. Now, we focus on two people. The first is Ali Khamenei. Now, he's the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran. He's a religious leader, of course, and he is the ultimate authority in Iran. Now, the second person is Masoud Pezeshkian, the current president of Iran and the leading civilian politician. So we have a window into the dynamics of the religious as well as a civilian political thinking of Iran currently. It is important to remember that starting in early December 2024, the Assad government of Syria collapsed, and Syria was invaded on multiple fronts. The prime instigators of this were Turkey and Israel. Indeed, Israel invaded much of Syria during the collapse, and Syria is now essentially split up into various sections. Now, under the Assad regime, Syria was a strong ally of Iran. Most of the supplies and weapons that Iran sent to both Hamas in Gaza and Hezbollah in Lebanon were shipped through Syria. People involved in training both Hamas and Hezbollah also traveled through Syria to and from Iran. Indeed, without the help of Iran, Hamas and Hezbollah would not have been able to offer much of a threat to Israel. The collapse of the Assad regime changed all of that. Territories were shifted and routes of supply disappeared in just a few days. Now, the remote viewing sessions conducted for this Deep News project were done in November 2024 before the collapse of the Syrian government. So this project gives you a great opportunity to see how remote viewing can be used to see elements of the future without being able to know exactly how those elements come to be. But given the changes on the ground, so to speak, this project also gives you a window into the near-term thinking of the Iranian leadership. And with that, we can make educated guesses as to what is going to happen in much of the world between now and July 2025. I want to invite everyone who is watching this Deep News project involving the Iranian leadership to chime in, to voice your opinions about what you think is going to happen based on these results. Again, the session that you are about to see is just one of 5 sessions that we obtained for this project. So stay tuned through February 2025 for the other sessions. Also, I encourage all of our audience to watch the huge library of projects that you can find at FARSIGHT'Prime.com, our streaming service. FARSIGHTPrime.com is cutting edge and technically equivalent to any of the major streaming services. All of our major projects are contained only on FARSIGHTPrime.com. The world is changing at a breakneck pace currently, and you need to understand the complexities of these changes so that you can make sense of it all. Also, our subscribers on FARSIGHTPrime.com are our only source of revenue. Bringing you these projects every month is not cheap. And without your support, we would not be able to continue, and you would be left with only the mainstream news. The same mainstream news that invests most of its efforts into controlling you by hiding the important news from you. At Farsight, we want complete disclosure, and that means the end of all secrecy. We don't want to control you. We just want you to be told the truth, all of the truth, unfiltered by those who think they are smarter and better than you. Looking at the state of the world today, we all know how badly that turns out. The time will come when Farsight will be a household word known worldwide, and you make that happen. Your support now for FarsightPrime.com is fundamentally responsible for manifesting the future where the hostile control ends and true freedom begins. The viewer for the remote viewing session that you are going to see now is Intysam.
Hi everyone, welcome to Deep News. Here we have Intysam today, and Intysam, just to be clear, you do not know the nature of this target?
No idea.
All right, and so let's just kick it off. You have some really interesting stuff here. Let's start on your page 4. Why don't you just take it away and tell us what your initial perceptions were?
Yeah. So for this target, my initial perceptions were of a level topography-based surface. I have man-made land. I deducted Scotland right off the bat because of the greenery that I'm seeing. I also have water here, maybe ice and snow, multiple structures, what feels like a city, many subjects. It felt like a crowd with both male and female subjects. A few non-surface structures, the general environment, urban with foliage, and then I was also picking up like energetics, but it felt like faint heat energetics. And then there's voices shouting, loud sounds, cool temperatures overall. And then the dominant elements that I'm picking up here was the crowd of subjects. Yeah, and then I did a sketch of the structures that I'm picking up. The image that came to my mind's eye was of these structures and then the crowd of subjects. And then there's a few subjects that seem to be the focus. So they're on a slightly raised platform and they're just talking.
Fascinating, really cool. Okay, what else?
And then I got another image, and this image is there's a bunch of subjects, and then I don't know if this would be the foreground or the background, there's a object or a structure with a pointy top, and then I deducted Elon Musk because the thing looks rocket shaped, so it looks like the pointy top. There's certain subjects there with like glowing objects, and then it feels like this is an indoor environment with dim lights and just there's glows. So maybe they're light bulbs, but just points of glowing throughout this room.
All right, so focus 1. Why don't you kick us off right there? Focus 1.
Yes, so focus 1, I'm focusing on subject A at time W. So I'm picking up a male subject, light skin tone. The subject has some lines on their face. Seems a little older perhaps, although the hair looks darker. So I'm not sure about the hair because I can see dark colors, but I'm also seeing gray. Subject A here looks neatly dressed, formal clothing, dark colors. He's of a medium build and also somewhat tall. I deducted King Charles because of the lankiness, I guess. This subject is with other subjects at time W, though I can see him standing alone. Others are grouped at a short distance away. The subjects are in an indoor environment. The room has a brownish coloration, but overall it looks clean and decorated. Something of significance behind subject A that feels large and maybe technological. Subject A seems to be the focus of attention. He has a smile on his face as he addresses the other subjects here. Some less important subjects are closer to the walls and they just seem to be observing. And the structure they're in is pretty big and it looks fancy. There's an air of wealth here, and I deducted a mansion for this structure. And then I did a sketch of subject A. So you can see the subject with some eyewear, gray stubble or a beard, something that also feels hard. I don't know when I touched his cheeks, but I don't know how to translate that. Like, what could that be? All I know is there's something that feels hard on the face. On the clothing, there was something triangle right here on the chest. And then when I felt the head, there's a flat bowl type of feel that kind of like, so it's like something on the head, but then it dips down right in the center. The subject has a slightly longish face. I deducted wire glasses because of the something on his face. And then a higher level deduction here would have been Yahya Sinwar, just because of the appearance of the subject. I think it's mostly the thing on the head that looks like a turban to me. Yeah.
All right. What else do you get? You got subject A, more of a deep mind probe?
So I was probing into subject A, but focusing on a certain plan AW. So for this, I'm picking up that there's something heavy about this plan AW, or it involves an object that's black and metallic and heavy, feels heavy. And I deducted a bomb or a weapon. And then I did a little sketch of just something long, dark colored. This subject has been meeting with a lot of people about this plan. It's taken a lot of coordination. I'm sensing walls around these meetings, so maybe it's like a sense of secrecy, perhaps. Plan AW feels massive. It targets a group of subjects. I deduct a spy network here. Subject A is taking this very seriously. There's an intensity towards this plan. Subject A feels stressed or anxious about this plan, or maybe it's that he has a guilty conscience, but he still feels compelled to continue with it. And he has a them versus us mentality towards what's driving this plan. And he was actually thinking of himself as like he's not a good person in regards to this plan. And then I get this image in his mind of what looks like a mushroom cloud. I know it's too high level, and I did a little sketch of that, of like a urbanscape with this cloud of what seems like energetics. Yeah. And then in his mind, this plan is a defensive type of strategy. He's also torn as to the implications of the fallout of what's going. He's torn as to the implications or the fallout of going through with the plan. There's thoughts of, will this plan start things or will it finish things? And then I put a little note that he secretly thinks it will achieve the former, and that this fuels his fears.
Okay, wow. So let's go to focus 2 now.
Okay, so focus 2, I'm going to focus on subject B here at time W. So this is a male subject, light skin tone with white or gray hair. I deducted Netanyahu, just purely off of the whiteness of the subject. This subject is dressed formally but has a grimace on his face. This subject is with other subjects similarly dressed, although some subjects present they look uniformed in greenish attire. All the subjects are seated around a big table in a room with yellow lights on the ceiling. The subject B seems to be the leader of sorts, speaking very dominantly and demanding the attention of the others. And then there's a little sketch of this, whatever's happening. Yeah, and then there's a better sketch, a close-up of subject B, and then, just in his attire. I deducted a military subject for that sketch. And then I continue, still with subject B, but probing into plan BW. So subject's thoughts are intense. My first thought is he's a little mad, but that's my viewer feeling. Subject has several cards up his sleeve, and he shows determination to reach his objectives. Plan BW to him feels like part of the resources at his disposal. This plan is a take all or nothing type of thing, sensing that the subject feels powerful and has certain allies that he can rely on. That he can rally to his cause. Plan BW is a plan to acquire more and more power, more territory, more influence, just more. It seems he's full speed ahead with this plan. I'm not sensing any reservations. No, he's about to take off. And this plan is meant to target a collection or a group of people and would lead to massive destruction. The effects of this plan is long-reaching, includes tricks even those around him aren't aware of. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's go to focus 3 now. So you're looking at subject A, but now you're looking at him at a different time. It's time Y.
Yeah. So subject A at time Y feels like he's at an open or an outdoor environment. There's a large focus gathering. Most of the subjects here look like they are in uniformed garb. The landscape looks a bit dry or arid, or maybe it's because I'm mostly seeing beige hues. So subject A, I did a deep mind probe of subject A, but with regards to plan AY, subject A is feeling very decisive here. Feels like they have clarity on their next steps and action. He feels like he's gathering his strength and support to actualize this plan AY. The subject feels like he's fueled by rage at this time, and perhaps a sense of righteousness to him. I'm seeing flash images across my awareness of thoughts of children in his mind. Plan AY will involve a lot of subjects. I'm seeing a whole field of subjects gathered behind him. Their emotions are high, picking up the word infiltration from his thoughts. Subject A feels quite confident on Plan AY and the chances of success. It seems there's no way for it to fail in his mind. Like whatever outcome will have the effect he desires, whether it's successful or not. He feels like he can't fail with this. He hopes that this plan will produce a certain long-term desire. I see this desire in his mind as an urban environment that looks well kept, seemingly orderly, or seems like a nice place.
All right, so let's move to focus 4. So you have subject B at time Y with regards to focus 4.
Yeah. Subject B at time Y. I'm gonna jump right into the DMP for plan BY. I'm perceiving subject B with a few subjects around him. This plan BY feels like it involves a small number of subjects. Plan BY feels unconventional, has misdirection or a certain component that can't be guessed at. Subject B hopes to play at his opponent's weakness or a certain structural fault lines. Subject B feels like he's been playing this sort of game a long time and he's gotten real good at it. And plan BY will likely take out his opponents from the bottom. Kind of like, picture like a sweep their feet from under them sort of thing. And my feeling at this point was like, oh, this plan scares me. Like, I'm kind of scared about whatever this is. I don't know what it is, but I don't have a good feeling. So subject B has a plan for survival, understands that he will have to survive if things don't go his way. And there's a sense of he's burning his bridges with plan BY. I also get a sense that he isn't his friend's friend, sort of thing. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well, just to be clear, I know we said it before, but we'll say it once again, you do not know the nature of this target?
I have no idea.
All right, so this was a very accurate target in terms of our verifiable data. The target goal here was to investigate the leadership of Iran and its plans with respect to Israel. So I'm going to grab you the paper in just a second. So yeah, that is the target. We have focus 1 dealing with subject A, who is Ali, and I might be wrong with the pronunciation of these names, Ali Khamenei. Ali Khamenei.
I think you're right.
Ali Khamenei. Anyway, you did an incredibly good sketch of Ali Khamenei, and it's Ali. Let's just call him Ali. So your sketch there, you have. Why don't you do a quick Google Images search of Ali Khamenei?
Oh, he does have that long face and the bowl.
The bowl.
thing.
You called it a bowl. Yeah. A bowl on his head, and it dips in a little bit, just as you said. He does have facial hair, just like you described, facial hair, and glasses. You put glasses on his face, and he's got that triangle shape with his fashion. There tends to be that triangle shape of a whiteness right there, so on the neck. So that was incredibly accurate. Blind remote viewing, mind you, incredibly accurate session right there. Very cool, very well done, good sketch. And then we have subject B, who is far more traditionally dressed in terms of just what we see in modern fashion. That is Masoud Pezeshkian. Masoud Pezeshkian, and he is basically the president of Iran at the time. So it's Ali Khamenei is the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and Masoud Pezeshkian is the president of Iran. And your description of the elements of that subject also incredibly accurate. You got you got a jacket on him, or a modern-looking type of jacket on him. And you've got whitish gray hair. That's what you said, and that's what he's got.
Cool.
And he's got a little bit of facial hair, but it's otherwise nothing like an actual beard that Ali Khamenei had. But it's really it's good in terms of session data. I mean, I can look at this session and I can say, wow, I can really put a lot of weight on your deep mind probes because of your sketches, your descriptions here. And considering the warlike nature, the fact that you deducted in your second flash sketch towards on page 6, you deducted this rocket-shaped thing as Elon Musk. Well, they're dealing with shooting rockets at each other, Israel and Iran. So it's having that pop up is a very good sign in terms of remote viewing accuracy. It's good to see stuff like that with relevance to the target. So, yeah, any questions or comments? Any thoughts?
So purely from looking at my session data, I'd say Ali Khamenei's plan, he's like more careful than Masoud.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's more considerate, I guess, of the fallout.
Yeah, just to compare both of our attempts at doing this target, I also got a similar feeling. I felt a bit more nervousness, anxiety, and fear on the side of Khamenei, but then with Masoud in Focus 1 and 2, I felt, or I guess Time W, which the Time W, by the way, is December of 2024. So that's pretty soon.
Oh, wow.
We're in November filming this right now. But so Masoud, basically, he was far more full steam ahead. Let's get these plans done. He was very excited in my session, and you had that exact same perception. He was far more full steam ahead in this time period. And then we move to time Y, and we check back in on Ali Khamenei as subject A in Focus 3, and Masoud Pezeshkian in Focus 4 as subject B, and that is in July of 2025.
Okay.
So that's way off into the future, about 6 months from now. And yeah, we wanted to see how are their thoughts. What has anything changed? What's been going on? So that session that you did really gave us an idea of what the future of that geopolitical conflict may entail.
I can't. I'm trying to. My screen closed, so I can't quite check. But the goal. What does he want? Which was like I believe it was subject A, Ali Khamenei, who just wants kind of like progression of the area. That's what I'm reading it as he just wants like this area to be stable and to have like a progressing economy, because I kind of got that image of a landscape that is just, it would look like any other city, right? With high rises and unity and whatever, or order, I should say. I think that's the word I used. I can't check anymore.
Yeah. It's definitely subject B. Masoud seems like he's a bit more, as you said at the very end of your session when you're looking at him 6 months from now, he has his plan, he's far more in the mindset of survival and willing to burn his bridges to get it.
Yeah.
And it definitely seems in the mind of Ali Khamenei, if he was able to see a way to get out of this, he would gladly get out of this situation. He seems kind of forced to be in this place, but he seems quite angry. He says, I'm looking here at your AY, Focus 3. You say subject A is fueled with rage at this time and also a sense of righteousness. So, he feels like he has more clarity with his step and his action. I'm assuming that this sort of means that he is, between now and then, there is going to be a development in that conflict, and it's going to make Ali Khamenei very angry relative to the way he feels right now, which, we're going to have to wait and see what the specifics of that is. But I assume that there will be a re-escalation of tensions in the region now that we're moving into 2025, sometime in between now and 2025 July.
Oh. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable deduction.
Yeah, it's well, let's see what everyone else says for their remote viewing sessions, and let's see what happens in the news for across the next 6 months. But other than that, from what we can verify today, great remote viewing. It seemed like a positive session, given that all of this is done completely blind. So, yeah, great job.
Thank you.
All right. Well, any other questions or comments?
No, that's all.
Alrighty. So thank you very much, Intysam, and thank you everybody else for watching.